Bugger. My sentiments exactly.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be looking at those tourist hotspots that are either avoided or derided by the local populace.
I have given you my soul. Leave me my name!
Mystic, Connecticut. Tourism can often be a double-edged sword, an industry that drives commerce to a price that can sometimes feel overwhelming to those living in the area. The attraction of Mystic, Connecticut isn't solely due to the boost it received thanks to the 1988 rom-com Mystic Pizza. There's also the fact that Mystic is just a lovely place, with plenty of activities that range from shopping and sightseeing to beach bumming. That said, the summer months bring an incredible amount of traffic to the area, which makes parking a huge pain in the butt. These jams can also extend outside of downtown Mystic proper, all the way to the amazing aquarium or museum of art. It's not impossible to get around, just plan ahead.
It's tradition. And you don't monkey with tradition, amen.
Nassau Bahamas. The issue of safety while traveling is one that can fluctuate, depending on where you're headed. Nassau Bahamas isn't generally unsafe from the tourist side of things if you just stay on the grounds of whatever luxury resort you happen to book.
I'm not going to guarantee your safety if you walk out your front door. I can't do that. So I can say something is amazingly safe, and something can still happen. So always exercise increased caution.
However, those that reside in Nassau often have problems with what they view as a culture that caters solely to incoming visitors, and the increased crime that results. This can be as mild as hustlers trying to separate a hapless cruise ship tourist from their money at the dock. But in recent years, there's also been a spike in violence outside of resort walls or cruise ship shadows. Tulum, Mexico. The tourist trade didn't always revolve around acquiring the perfect Instagram shot to influence one's growing number of followers. Yet it's this sort of culture that's partially contributed to the over-tourism of Tulum, Mexico. This remarkable area contains a rich history of Mexico's ancient Mayan culture. Yet the desire to bring outsiders in has resulted in overzealous developers coming into the area at the expense of Tulum's locals.
Investors from the US and Europe poured money into condos, retreats, and hotels, convinced that they were investing in the next big tourist destination.
There's an environmental side to all of this tourism as well, since Tulum's ecological infrastructure has suffered from the influx of people. Meanwhile, those all-important tourist dollars are inequitably distributed to those that could actually benefit.
Waste routinely leaks into groundwater, contaminating cenotes and posing serious health risks.
Santorini and Mykonos Islands, Greece. It seems that there's unfortunately not much the proverbial little guy can do to fight how relentless tourism can negatively impact the locals' bottom line. The Santorini and Mykonos Islands in Greece are undeniably beautiful. Yet it's also this beauty that's attracted so many cruise ships and partygoers over the years. This relentless over-tourism has resulted in local infrastructure being incapable of handling the strain, creating an atmosphere that can often feel crowded, dirty, and tense for visitors and homeowners alike. The public profile of Santorini and Mykonos caused home and rental rates in the area to drastically spike, which is never a good sign for those that live here 24/365.
Santorini is a beautiful island, but if you want to see the main sights, either go in the off-season or be prepared for the crowds.
Bali, Indonesia. It can be difficult for those that don't live in an area dependent on tourism to understand how challenging the balancing act is for areas like Bali. The area consistently struggles with the behavior of visiting tourists with regards to its ecosystem and infrastructure. Yet Bali also can't afford to turn down the revenue from those same tourists.
Bali's local government has issued demolition orders for more than 40 buildings, saying they were constructed illegally. They include villas, restaurants and bars along the beachfront.
There's also a loss of identity some native Indonesians feel as Bali is continually gentrified for the sake of the over 6 million tourists that visit each year. Indonesian governmental officials have tried to combat these negative impacts via certain taxes and legislation, but these have proven difficult to enforce during the peak season. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. To quote Dr. Ian Malcolm, we're talking about the increasingly popular model of short-term rentals.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
But what about the impact of apartments that are being taken away from locals in favor of the revenue that comes from renting them out? This is just one of the issues facing Amsterdam, a popular tourist destination that's faced pushback from those that call it home. What do you do when that home is noisy, crowded, and just not fun to be around? How do you deal with the relentless party atmosphere that puts all of the local color and tradition at risk? These are just some of the questions Amsterdam residents ask their officials when complaining about visitor behavior in their city.
This is the best thing that could have happened to us. We're in Amsterdam. This is the drug and sex capital of Europe.
Salem, Massachusetts. It's true that Salem's tourism problems are primarily relegated to the month of October. The city has an incredible history that brings its fair share of visitors year-round, but make no mistake, spooky season can be a trying time for Salem locals.
Every street, every storefront.
Salem, 90% of its income is October.
Every costume has the Halloween energy people come from all over to experience.
The holiday season is very much tourist-driven, with parking spots basically changing into valuable currency overnight. Traffic jams aren't the only negative impact of tourism in Salem, however. Many who live there have also complained that visitors are often careless with how they behave and rude when they interact on the crowded city streets.
It's make or break for a lot of places in town for their whole year.
The mayor says it's the city's commitment to welcoming visitors that's at the soul of what makes Salem stand out.
Barcelona, Spain. The news made headlines back in 2024, a story of frustrated locals attempting to make themselves heard against what they viewed as an invasive species, tourists.
Thousands of protesters hit the streets in Barcelona to express anger at mass tourism and its impacts on the city. Some protesters even sprayed tourists with water guns as part of the demonstration.
Barcelona natives squirted visitors with water guns in an act of defiance against a problem they believe needs to be addressed. Specifically, how a city so devoted to tourism dollars has unfairly priced out its local populace in favor of more short-term rentals and higher rents.
The mayor of Barcelona recently said that by 2028, he would end apartment rentals for tourists by stopping short-term rental licenses for more than 10,000 apartments. That would make these homes available for locals to live in.
Barcelona is another city that's actively made steps to battle against reckless and rude tourist behavior. It's implemented taxes while also working to shutter bootleg Airbnbs that often spring up overnight to take advantage of the situation.
I mean, I'll show you around the city and we'll eat well, we'll drink good wine, we'll make love.
Yeah, who exactly is going to make love?
Hopefully the three of us.
Dubrovnik, Croatia. This city has put their money where their mouth is with regards to just saying no to tourist dollars. This picturesque town gained popularity as a filming location for the HBO series Game of Thrones.
Brandon!
I saw the king. He's got hundreds of people.
How many times have I told you, no climbing?
It made Dubrovnik explode almost overnight as a tourist hotspot. Yet today, Mayor Mato Frankovic has actively turned away excessive cruise ship dockings and visits. Dubrovnik has also banned wheeled suitcases in an effort to combat noise pollution, and it continues the fight to protect local culture and tradition in the face of those modern dangers: short-term rentals, rude crowds, and traffic.
If they're planning on doing a day trip to the Old Town, visitors will have to book a ticket in advance, and they'll only get up to 4 hours to explore the area. Tourists aren't so sure about these new restrictions.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Venice, Italy. The legacy of Venice as a popular tourist destination dates back centuries. All good things come to an end, however, and it seems as if Venice has finally fallen out of love with its tourist trade. This city has seen an exodus of locals that have been priced out of living at home, and its historic streets simply can't keep up with the demand of photo-hungry visitors.
It's not only because they bring to the city more than 1.5 million of tourists every year, but you can immediately perceive the fact that they are totally out of scale. So they have become a symbol for the struggle to save Venice.
Venice has attempted to enact proactive legislation that's designed to discourage negative tourist behavior. But is it a case of too little too late? Or will Venice, Italy ever emerge from the shadow of its disparaging nickname, Veniceland? Do you have any vacation horror stories? Or are you a local who's fed up with tourist behavior? Sound off in the comments.